weather and traffic every 10 minutes. Live weekdays starting at 4:30 a.m. This is Channel 9 Eyewitness News at 11. Coverage you can count on.
Tonight on Eyewitness News, a shooting investigation is underway in Titusville after detectives say a juvenile was seriously hurt.
It's a bit of a shock.
What we're learning about another young person involved in the incident that police are calling accidental. Plus, a cross-country storm is hammering parts of the southeast with heavy rain and tornadoes.
Oh my God. Oh my God. This isn't happening.
What to expect here locally as the system heads our way. As we come on the air, the weather is quiet in Central Florida tonight, but that could change by late tomorrow afternoon. Good evening, I'm Rafael Pires. We're tracking a line of storms making its way south. It's already led to devastating images like these over here that you see behind me in Tennessee. We'll have more on the damage there in just a minute. But first, we want to get right on over to certified meteorologist Brian Shields with what we can expect here locally. Brian?
Yeah, that same front is working toward us. It'll come in a different fashion. Not as strong, but we could still get a few stronger storms, even an isolated severe storm late tomorrow. But you see the line here, still some severe weather with it. So keeping an eye on that, thinking of our friends back toward the northwest of us. Now, we're looking good tonight. We had a great day. We had a lot of 80s around. Still on the warm side of the front tomorrow, but the winds are going to kick up, and that's a sign that we are going to see that front moving in again late on our Sunday. Numbers now 60s, 70s, about 70 degrees in Orlando. So relatively mild, comfortable for tonight and by tomorrow morning. Now tomorrow, as we go throughout the day, I mentioned the windy weather, still some of those low 80s. Clouds will build in, a spotty shower storm through early afternoon. Then late in the day, we see that better chance, 40-50% chance by 6. That's when that front moves in, and a few of those could be strong. After the front tomorrow night, it gets chilly again. We've got another chill on the way early in the upcoming week. I want to track the temperature drop for you just ahead. Rafael.
All right, Brian, thank you. More now on that severe weather damage in Tennessee. Earlier today, tornadoes touched down in the state, toppling over trees and ripping up homes. And tonight, we're learning at least 6 people were killed in Nashville and Clarksville. More than 20 others were treated at hospitals for injuries. ABC meteorologist Samara Theodore has more. And don't forget, you can track all the latest weather headlines in between newscasts on our free WFTV weather app. Now is the perfect time to download it so you don't miss any weather. Tomorrow, you can find it in the Apple App Store and on Google Play. Turning now to a developing story in Brevard County. Detectives say they're working to figure out what led up to a shooting that involved 2 young people and seriously hurt one of them. It happened this morning at a home near South Street and South DeLeon Avenue in Titusville. Channel 9 Chantel Navarro has been following this story all day. She has the latest on the investigation. Again, police say the juvenile's gunshot wound is serious but not life-threatening. Chantel asked Titusville PD if that juvenile is still in the hospital tonight, as well as if any adults could be facing charges. We are still waiting for a response tonight. And right now, the state fire marshal is trying to find out what started a house fire in Ocala that left 1 person dead. Crews were called to Northwest 24th Court around 9:30 last night. They say smoke and flames were coming through the windows. Neighbors said someone was inside, so firefighters, they quickly began to search. They found 1 person who was rushed to the hospital but later died. So far, that victim has not been identified. A 48-year-old man from Orlando died after a crash on Florida's Turnpike. It happened this morning just north of Fortune Road in Kissimmee. According to Florida Highway Patrol, that driver ran off the road and crashed into some trees. Troopers are still working to figure out what caused that crash. A family from Brazil has filed a lawsuit saying a woman was injured on a ride at Universal's Islands of Adventure. According to court documents, the family claims the woman fell off a merry-go-round in the Dr. Seuss-themed area. The lawsuit claims the theme park should have known a falling hazard exists, seeking a payment of more than $50,000. In Seminole County, a man is facing several felony charges tonight after deputies say homemade bombs were found inside of his home. Investigators say they found the explosives while serving Mark Severson a search warrant for drugs. This happened on Alena Court in Winter Park. They say the bomb-making material was too volatile to move, so they decided to detonate it inside the home.
I heard it going off. I heard this big boom. I see smoke go over there, and I said to myself, something blew up over there.
So all of a sudden, I just heard an explosion, fire in the hole, and it just caught everyone off guard. Even people outside from the neighborhood came outside to see what was going on.
Several neighbors were evacuated before that detonation for their own safety. Besides the explosives, investigators say they found meth, MDMA, and marijuana. A portion of South Atlantic Avenue is back open tonight in Daytona Beach after a gas leak closed the road in both directions from Browning to Moore Streets. The city's Department of Public Safety says the issue has been fixed. That gas leak was caused by construction. And SpaceX is preparing to launch a national security mission for the U.S. Space Force. The U.S. military-owned X-37B spaceplane will ride on a Falcon Heavy rocket. The mission is scheduled to launch tomorrow night at 8:14 from the Kennedy Space Center. This will be the 7th mission for the X-37B. Of course, if the rocket goes up, you can watch it live on Channel 9 or WFTV.com. And thousands of people gathered at SeaWorld today for a great cause.
Runners, set!
The 26th annual Greg Warmouth Reindeer Run was held this morning. It supports the Advent Health for Children's Pediatric Cancer Program. 3,000 runners and walkers made their way through a holiday-themed course. Greg, of course, he was there cheering everybody on. That includes 99-year-old Grace Nolan and her family, who traveled thousands of miles to be there.
This is a very special event for me, always to come down to your race. And I'm so happy to be here. I'll be back again next year, and I'll be 100 years old.
She is amazing. Grace says she trains all year for the event. We also collected toys, which will be Toys for Tots. And speaking of Toys for Tots, Channel 9 was able to collect additional donations today with the help of our viewers at another holiday event. Our 9 Family Connections Santa Saturday was held at our station here in downtown Orlando. Channel 9 Sam Martello was there. A new recall of Takata airbags, but 30 million airbags proven to be dangerous aren't included. 9 is digging into why. But over a month away from the critical Iowa caucuses, how GOP candidates are working to gain traction against the former presidents, leading by double digits in the polls.
Sky Witness 9 on Channel 9 Eyewitness News, bringing you closer to the scene during live breaking news. Sponsored by attorney Dan Newland.
As the Israel-Hamas war enters its 3rd month, dramatic new images are showing the aftermath of the latest Israel airstrike on Gaza. Israel says looking to eradicate Hamas strongholds in the city. According to the Hamas-run health ministry, the death toll in Gaza has surpassed 17,000. And yesterday, the U.S. blocked a UN Security Council draft resolution that would have demanded an immediate humanitarian ceasefire and the unconditional release of hostages. That was Mary Alice Parks reporting. The last few days, Governor Ron DeSantis' presidential campaign has been playing cleanup after Casey DeSantis seemed to urge women from out of state to come to the Iowa caucuses to vote. A Trump super PAC jumped on the comments saying she was embracing voter fraud and called on the governor to denounce it. DeSantis clarified and said they are only encouraging people to come volunteer in Iowa. Move over Mockingbird. Here comes the flamingo. 2 Florida representatives filed a bill this week that would designate the American flamingo as the Florida state bird. The designation would take the place of the mockingbird, which was approved in 1927. The mockingbird is also the state bird for Arkansas, Mississippi, Tennessee, and Texas. This morning, the Police Department held its annual Shop with a Cop event. Kids were first treated to a hot breakfast with Santa at Senior Tequilas before heading to Walmart, where officers helped the children pick out toys and gifts. After wrapping up their gifts, each child participating in this year's event also received a free bike from the Christmas Bike program. The Winter Springs Police Department has participated in the Shop with a Cop program for love to see. It's such a great program, Deborah.
And then they get a little bike, little independence, maybe, you know, get to go around and stuff like that. But that's such a good event. I love seeing that each year.
Yeah, it's awesome. Gotta love it.
All right, let's get you out there. If you're, well, it's late tonight. Hopefully you're getting to bed. But either way, we get a look at downtown Orlando. The light's still on. Just such a pretty scene across downtown Orlando. 67 degrees, wind south-southeast at about 7 miles per hour. As we work our way to the coast, we'll get some of those cruise ships moving back in just a few hours. Upper 60s now. Sunrise will be 7:06. In the sunset, 5:26. And by sunset on our Sunday, we are going to see those storms that will be around. You see the numbers now, the 60s and the 70s, 67 in Claremont, upper 60s in Kissimmee. Melbourne, 70 degrees in New Smyrna Beach. We get a look at those winds, and they are relatively light out of the south and southeast. We'll have that light southerly flow as we go overnight. The breeze will pick up tomorrow, and that is going to help to warm us up. We'll have a strong southerly breeze before our front arrives. We get a look at that satellite radar. Everything looking good tonight, again, mainly on the dry side. Back to the west, that's where the front is. Still some severe weather, severe thunderstorm warnings. We were talking about that tornado damage back to the west. Lots of action here. It won't quite come through in this fashion. We could get a few stronger storms. That will be possible, though, overall. So taking you through your Sunday forecast, you get a look at what to expect as we go forward. In the morning, we're on the dry side. By 1 o'clock, most of the action's still off to the west. But as we hit the afternoon, that's when we get a better chance of some rain and storms arriving. This is by 5 o'clock, and some of those will even linger as we work deeper into the evening hour. So look at some of those temps that we can expect as we go forward. Actually, let me bring you back to the beach forecast just in case you're headed to the beach early in the morning. Low tide around 11:57, high tide around 5:46. But again, late in the day, we'll start to get some of those storms that will be popping up. So we get a look at that forecast for us, taking you through it as we work our way forward into tonight. Temperatures around 51, partly cloudy, just a slight chance of a passing shower. Then as we go throughout the day tomorrow, breezy and warm. We'll see again the numbers in the 80s, but overall watching this line of storms that will be working in.
Download the WFTV weather app. Get a forecast from Tom Terry. Just search WFTV. Brought to you by the Law Offices of Attorney Dan Newland.
Involved in a car accident? Call me now, 407-888-8000.
The 4 best players in college football were in New York City for the most prestigious award in the sport, the Heisman Trophy. Oregon's Bo Nix, Ohio State's Marvin Harrison Jr., and Washington's Michael Penix Jr. and LSU's Jaden Daniels were moments away from their lives changing forever. The Dodgers have improved, though, to 8-1 odds to win the World Series after today's news. Rafael.
All right, Jared, thank you, and thanks for watching Channel 9 Eyewitness News. We'll see you back here tomorrow. Have a great night.